Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome to This is Football. Welcome to a special edition show. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here to talk title race. We're here to talk, of course, title race in the Premier League because no one watches La Liga or any of them leagues. You get me? We talk about the biggest league in the world. So we're here to talk about the title race in the English Premier League. We're here to talk Liverpool Football Club because we guys listen to the customer service complaints that you guys give us. Oh my God, why don't you ever ask rivals' opinions about Liverpool? Well, we're going to do that today. So you guys can stop bitching. We're going to be talking about Manchester City, treble winners. Obviously, many people's favorites for winning the league. We're going to be talking about Arsenal, my predicted winner of the Premier League this season. Very strong team as well. And of course, all the Spurs fans been bitching in my mentions. Every single one of them. Oh my God, why are you calling us an imposter? Ange Postecoglou should win the Ballon d'Or. James Maddison is the best player on earth. It's just been an absolute travesty with these Spurs fans. So today, I told Vel, I'm like, listen, Vel, last time they were complaining about the imposter thumbnail. So all I want you to do is just make it normal. So he just put in James Maddison in it. So we're going to be talking Tottenham Hotspur as well. So stay tuned, you guys. Anyway, before we introduce the panel, before we get started, everyone watching us right now, there's already 100 people in here. We ain't even started yet. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing. There's so much content coming your way. We've got Hussam X Tom Little as well. X Mons, inshallah, tonight at 11. So there's so much content coming your way. We know, none of you guys are out here trying to watch Mansfield and Port Vale today. So, we got you covered with all entertainment that you guys need. So let me introduce today's panelists. And first of all, I'm introducing this guy because he's top of the league. Oh my God, he's about to be so nauseating. Honestly, the moment Spurs even are second, I am so gonna annoy the shit out of him. You guys have seen him on American Waffle. You guys have seen him on This Is Football. You guys have seen him on United Spurs of America. And you've actually seen him. This is how I know Jacob ain't shameless. Jacob doesn't change his energy even within the Spurs circles. Because I went and I snuck into one of them Spurs YouTube channels. And I saw Jacob with 3 other Spurs fans. And all 3 other Spurs fans changed their energy. But Jacob was telling them Tottenham aren't lucky to their face. While they were trying to claim that Tottenham are lucky. So joining us on the channel is the most shameless human being on God's green earth. Top of the league currently. Man like Jacob. How you doing, Jacob, man?
Hey, too blessed to be stressed. Thank you for the invite yet again. What is up, chat? It is your favorite Tottenham Hotspur representative. Yes, I'm wearing a jacket. That's just because at the top it is so damn windy. I needed a windbreaker. So how we doing? Thank you for the invite. Pleasure to be here.
Oh, we started already. Big up to you, Jacob, man. Thank you so much for joining us as well. And we're going to stay in the city of London. Spurs' biggest rival. You get me? Arsenal Football Club. Many people have accused me of twerking for Arsenal. I apologize for making a prediction. My bad. I apologize for predicting someone other than my club to win a trophy. But speaking of shamelessness, I think this guy matches Jacob. Shameless for shameless right here. Probably the two, how can I say, the two objective people are the Liverpool and City fan, who I'm going to tell you who is next, on this panel. But we had to match energies here. You get me? The two rivals, Arsenal and Spurs. I have to get someone just as shameless. You guys saw him on Al Ahwa. He made his debut pre the Man City game. He told the world that Arsenal are going to beat Man City, and that indeed did happen. So joining us on the channel, of course, is the man, the myth, the legend. Man like Daud is in the building. How are you doing, Daud, man?
Thank you for having me on again. I'm kind of embarrassed and ashamed that you're talking about the title when there's only one club in this live stream that are actually in the title race. But yeah, we're going to talk about the imposters. We'll talk about the pretenders.
Do you rate Arsenal Wenger real quick? Do you rate Arsenal Wenger?
Let's not talk about that at the moment. But
okay,
all I'm saying is it should be just us, Arsenal, talking about the title. But you guys can, join the party for the next couple of weeks. And then, yeah, we'll see what happens.
See, did I not tell you shameless for shameless? So now let me bring in the guy who actually has seen his club win a title in the last 5 years, just like myself. So we're way more relaxed than these two. Joining us on the channel, making his debut on This Is Football. I seen him listen to a couple of my spaces. You guys have seen him on YouTube 100% on the Football Terrace. Absolute, great speaker when it comes to not just Manchester City, to football in general. You guys already know, because the lazy bastards who don't click the description and go subscribe to our guest's channel, you guys already know who it is. But all the lazy guys are like, oh, I wonder who the City fan is. If you just hit the description, you'd find out. But you lazy, everyone go subscribe to everyone's channel in the description. But of course, joining us representing Manchester City, in is the City colors as well, man. Like LB is in the building. How are you doing, LB, man? How did I just add him and remove him? What the hell,
bro? What the hell was that intro, bro? I was on the show for like a second, and the guy was just like, "Nah."
Double click right there. Fraudulent mouth.
Nah, I'm all good, bro. The City colours was an accident. I didn't mean to do that, but yeah, I'm all good, bro. I'm feeling blessed, man. 9,000 subscribers today on the channel, so yeah, I'm feeling buzzing about that. Thank you, appreciate it. But yeah, man, life is good at the moment, man.
Big up to you. Probably the only thing that's annoying you is the Haaland thing, but I don't want to talk about it because I know this will go into an absolute, how can I say this? An absolute direction that I don't want to go in. So, some of the City fans have probably been a bit more relaxed about it, going like, he's 21, he's probably going to win one at a point in time in his career. Some have just lost their minds. I don't know if you guys know the professor. I know Jacob knows him. Bro, he just went to well down yesterday. Big up Hamza. He was doing TikToks about Bukayo Saka and shit. That's when my man's just lost his mind, man. Big up to you, my brother. So let me just go to the 2 super chats quickly. Big up to Ozan, who says, Sam, the delusion is strong in this panel. You know what I want to do right now? This is what I want to do. I'm going to make an executive decision. Big up Jacob and Daud. We're going to keep you guys together. You got me London, down there. Yeah. You got me up in the north over here. We're relaxed. I've seen my club win it all. Big up. So has LB. I think the only thing missing is the Club World Cup, right?
Yeah, man. But we got that in December.
Yeah.
So
Saudi Arabia. It's actually coming soon. Yeah.
It's in like I think it's like middle of December or something like that. So it's in Saudi, man.
Yeah, that's the only trophy missing. So fair enough. Big up to you, Ozan. Thanks so much for the super chat.
What about the Community Shield?
Yeah, we won
the trophy missing. Oh no, for Man City, that's the only trophy missing.
You think Pep ain't won a Community Shield yet? He has won one, right?
No, I'm talking about this year. They haven't won every single trophy this year.
Oh, you want us to win everything in one season, bro? What the hell?
Come on,
that's the standards.
Yeah. So shameless. Big up to BIG, who says, Jacob, I've got an Ange Postecoglou costume. $500 and it's yours. It's Halloween tonight. It comes with a free Postecoglou shrine, fast shipping. BIG, by the way, is the guy that made the joke yesterday about Ainge should win the Ballon d'Or. I tweeted it out. A couple of Spurs fans laughed, to be fair. So, big up the people.
He should have. He did the treble last season and working miracles so far. So, yeah, he deserves it.
I actually really want to start with Spurs as well. And finally, last but not least, big up to Dinesh, my brother says, evening, everyone. Question going on in the world. The world is split into 2 Western countries against the rest of the world. If you didn't support the Western countries, then you are the enemy. Big up to you, Dinesh. I can't lie to you. I thought you were going to go in a football direction there. Like back in the day when they had was it World XI versus, what was it called? Someone must remember. I swear to God, it was like a kind of like an all-star game played in football, like in the year 2000, 2001. It was like the World XI versus Europe XI, something like that. You had like R9, Batistuta, and these guys in one team, and you had like the Owens and the Henrys and the Bergkamps on play in one team. I think there was kind of like an all-star game that happened like 20 years ago. Dinesh, here's the thing. On a football channel, you can't discuss politics. Follow me on Twitter and you'll be able to hear my political opinions. But I cannot say it over here on YouTube because, the strikes will be 3 quick strikes, quick as hell. So let's not go there. But big up to you, Dinesh. Anyway, big up everyone in the chat. Already 250 people in here. We ain't even started yet. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, keep getting involved. There's only one place to start. Top of the league, Tottenham Hotspur, unfortunately. Hello, Jacob. Look at him. Thoughts on Spurs so far this season?
My thoughts on Spurs so far this season is we are playing at a rate in which I did not think would happen this quickly. But again, I look at a lot of our wins and I say we should have done better there. Fulham should have been 4-5-0. Luton should have been 2-0 in the first 5 minutes. Even Crystal Palace, that was just an atrocity. But we're getting the wins. And at the end of the day, to tough out and get the results, when you're not playing your best, I think is one of the traits of championship DNA. Am I saying that we exhibit all traits of championship DNA? No, I'm not saying that. I like to think I'm a perfect mix of an emotional fan, emotional deluded fan, and a logical realistic fan. I'm like a yin and a yang of emotions and feelings, and then also logic and realisticness. So am I getting ahead of myself? No. But when people say that Spurs have been lucky this year, I think that's funny and hilarious to me, because how many times you got to do something until someone's like, if I got in a car accident every other week, you start saying maybe he's just a bad driver, rather than dang, he's unlucky to keep getting in these car accidents. That's what I'm saying about these own goals. People got their own interpretation. People got their own list as to why they're seeing Spurs at the top of the table. And I say this everywhere I go. No matter who you are as a human, psychologically, what happens when you see something that your brain cannot comprehend, you rationalize, you excuse, and you find reasons as to why you're possibly seeing what you're seeing in front. Like, your brain tries to rationalize what your eyes are seeing. So my point in saying that is, I understand why people are getting a little bit, uneasy in their boots, so to speak. They see this and they say, oh, this was lucky, and oh, that was only Luton, or this was only that. Hey, you could keep coming up with all the excuses. I'm not here to try and convince anybody of anything other than to say, keep making excuses for us, but eventually those excuses are going to run out. That laundry list of all the reasons why we just won and why we're getting results when we shouldn't have, and oh, it's just this opponent, it's just that. For me, hey, keep reading the laundry list. The longer you think that we're fine, like I've heard other pundits, I've watched the Big Six, shout out Terry and all that shit going on over there. What I'm saying is, I heard some fans on there yesterday saying, well, I think, Liverpool's got another gear to go to, and Arsenal, don't you forget that they've got another gear to go to. And I'm sitting here, and then the next person says, oh, and we've seen the best of Spurs. And I said, this is clearly someone who watches Highlights FC. Shout out Staffy and TJ, who watch highlights and not full 90 minutes. Now, you can be that guy. We all have lives. We all have a lot going on. But what I'm going to say is, don't assume that you've seen the best of Spurs just because you saw one really great work goal versus Palace. Now, if you look at the way we got that second goal versus Palace, that is how we should be firing for 90 minutes. We are unable to do that right now. This is not Ange Postecoglou's team. This is people he's put together, mashed together. Let's put this there and let's see if this works. And it's working right now. And I said at the beginning of the season, the first 5 to 10 matches under Ange Postecoglou will be a mystery for other managers to plan against. Once they have at least 5 to 10 matches of game footage, they can say, this is how Ange is setting up in the Premier League. This is what Ange is asking these players to do in X, Y, and Z situations. So my point in saying that is, look, my expectations for Spurs, I'm keeping them the same. And everything that I've asked for in the summer, I'm beginning to see. So if you call me shameless, you can call me whatever you want. I'm laying in the pool and I'm enjoying it. Now, have I completely submerged my head underwater in the delusion of that we are actually going to win this? No. But you can't tell me that we cannot win it, because we are definitely in the conversations. Now, there's words that come up. Some people don't like them. You can say whatever you want. I'm like a tennis ball. Whatever you say, I'm just going to bounce right back. So nothing really bothers me. The I word that ends in an R doesn't bother me either. You can say it. You can put it on your thumbnails. Shout out Vel. I'm just saying, when it comes to Spurs, yesterday's Spurs is not today's Spurs. Keep doubting us. That's fine. You can let history dictate your opinion, but it would be mistaken, because history has not had Ange Postecoglou within its realm. So I can keep going, but I'll leave it there. I see Daud, he wants to say something to me. So
nah, I've seen this rhetoric before. I've seen Spurs fans getting gassed after 10 games. You had your best ever manager in Pochettino, and he couldn't win you a league title. Forget a league title; he couldn't win you a
Bill
Carabao Cup
Nicholson's
trophy.
way better than Pochettino,
Okay?
and I didn't even watch him. So that's
that,
wrong.
that Pochettino team with Dembele, with Dele Alli, with Harry Kane, with Alderweireld, Vertonghen, like that
it's
Spurs
fantastic.
team was, I think, Spurs' golden generation, and they couldn't even win a trophy. And Spurs are talking about winning the Premier League. How do you go from
Well,
winning
we got all them off our shoulders. Harry Kane,
okay,
he's not here anymore. Don't worry about that.
How do you go from okay? How do you go from not winning a single trophy since when? 2008, 2009, probably before that.
2008 was a Carling
2008,
Cup.
your last trophy to winning the Premier League. I'm sorry, but it's stepping stones for you guys. Win the Mickey Mouse trophies first. Win the Carabao Cup first. Try to get at least into a Community Shield. See how it feels
How
like to
can
be
they
in
win
the
the
cup
Carabao
final.
Cup? They ain't in it.
Oh, that's one trophy now. What you got left? FA Cup and Premier League now. And then you're trying to go for the Premier League. FA Cup, you know what you should be? Your target should be top 4.
We're not trying
FA
to
Cup.
go for anything. Ainge has always said when he came in, what I'm here to do is lay the foundational work to build a squad that can compete on all levels of competition.
The funny thing about Ange Postecoglou is that he's clever. He knows what he's saying, because he knows that if I give any targets for Spurs never execute any targets. Since I've watched Spurs, they've never executed any targets. So he's thinking right now is that even if I say, let's get top 4, that might be too much pressure for them. Right now, let's just say, let's see how it goes. Let's win some games. And then when it gets to about February, March, April, then we can set some targets. But for Spurs fans right now, talking about the Premier League, I think that
But he also didn't shut it down, though, bro. In a press conference, they asked him.
Yeah, exactly.
They asked him about the title, and he didn't shut it down. So...
True.
He said, allow the fans to feel however they want to feel. It's our duty to match that expectation. So he said, if you want to feel like this, you can feel like that. And for him, from Ainge Postecoglou, from the locker room, he has said verbatim, and this is a direct quote, he said, we have not accomplished anything. This was after 9 or 8 games when we were at the top of the league. He said, we have not accomplished anything. All we have done is put ourselves in a good position and laid some really good foundation. And that's all that I've been asking for. This season, people were saying, with no Kane, they're relegation fodder. Let's look at the numbers. Without his 30 goals, yada, yada, yada. That's a BS argument, and it's washed up and dusty at this point. But I just see like the expectation of Spurs was, let's just see if they could get in the top half this season without Kane. And now it's, oh, well, top 4, and that's a meaty aspiration. I don't even care about top 4 this year personally, because that wasn't my expectation in the summer. I try to keep my energy the same as it was, which was I want to see a pathway from the academy to the first team. Got it. I want to see a team that is applying an ethos and a philosophy throughout its a club that's applying the same ethos and philosophy from the first team to the U6s. We are starting that. I want to see good football. I want to see my players happy and smile.
Does that not have to change, though? Your expectation at the start of the season, okay, yeah, that's fine. But now we're a quarter of the way into the season. Surely your expectation has to change. And I'm not saying your expectation now has to be to win the league, but surely your expectation now has to be to get top 4. I can't believe you just said that, bro. You're a quarter of the way through the season.
Well, mathematically we should. Mathematically we should, but I also realize in the same hand when I say you cannot count me out of a title race, you cannot count me in to a top 4 race. That it's a great 10 games. Like everyone says, we've had a great 10 games.
Do we not know after 10 games now that who's most likely to get top 4? Even
mathematically,
top 5,
it could lead you. Yes, percentage-wise, it would say
because
was
Chelsea
86% of time, something like that.
Yeah, because Chelsea and Man United, for me, they're out of the top 4. For them, they're way too inconsistent. Man United have already lost 5 Premier League games. Spurs and Arsenal haven't lost a Premier League game yet. So for them to even catch us when in first, second, and third with Man City, that's a lot of points that they have to accumulate. But for Spurs fan not to say that top 4 is not guaranteed yet, or top 4 is not your target, I think that's the mentality of
why would I want to go? Why would I want to go into the same mentality I had under Pochettino? Let's look at this. You're saying that's the mentality. Why would I want to be top 4 is my aspirations? No, I want to see us.
The comments are calling it ambiguous. That's not the Jacob they know. Where is the Jacob who puts the walls on the table, huh?
All I'm saying is, if I'm going to sit here and say it's mathematically possible for us to win a league, it's also mathematically possible we could still get relegated.
Okay, let me just ask you a general question right now. The $1 million question that the whole world is gonna ask you for the next month: are Spurs in a title race?
Yes. If Pep said it, Wenger said it, players saying it, that's like people saying Romero's not the greatest defender in the world. I'm sorry, you know more than Lionel Messi. You know more than Pep Guardiola. You know more than Arsene Wenger. Is that what I'm hearing?
He's saying that because that's his mate. And Pep Guardiola, if Pep Guardiola says that Spurs are not in the title race, that puts more pressure on him to win the Premier League. Because of him saying that, it makes it feel like, okay, what he's gonna if he wins the Premier League, he'll say that, oh, I beat Tottenham, I beat Liverpool, and I beat Arsenal to the title. But if he's already knocking Tottenham out of the title race, then he's got Arsenal, and Liverpool. So I think with the
2 teams that couldn't beat us, by the way.
With Pep Guardiola,
can you stop including me as a team that can't beat you? If you want to include,
did you beat Spurs?
You didn't beat me. PGMOL beat me, and the referees beat me. You didn't beat me. That was the worst. That was the absolute worst refereeing performance in history since VAR been included.
I'm just saying, when I Google what happened in that, it's going to say Spurs won. So
okay, no problem. But they were here to give context, are we not?
Yeah.
I'm applying context to what he just said. He just named 2 title contenders, and neither one could beat us. So what am I supposed to believe?
Problem. No problem.
difference
Now,
between
let me answer your question, because you said I don't think anyone can say Spurs are not in a title race. I can. I don't think Spurs are in a title race because Spurs are one injury away from crisis. Point number one. Point number two.
Ifs
Spurs.
and buts.
Let me. We're here to do ifs and buts. No problem. This is what we're here to do. This is welcome to the world of YouTube. Ifs and buts. That's all we do on this YouTube.
It's always ifs and buts when it's against, but whenever I use ifs and buts for,
if it was anyone else who won the World Cup, Haaland would be here with the Ballon d'Or. If Rodri's handball wasn't given, I'd be a two-time Premier League winner.
If it wasn't a fraudulent award ceremony, Harry Kane would have been higher. But yeah, we could play that all day.
See, no problem. So let's do ifs and buts. So my if number one is you're one injury away from crisis. If number two is you've been very lucky with the start of the season. If number three is the teams that have took you on so far this season, in my opinion, have been surprised by the way you play football. And now you know when I'm seeing the shift. Friday night, Crystal Palace. Even your shameless self went on the Spurs channels and they were telling you were lucky that day. And even you tried to deny it. That game, this is essentially what happened. Palace misses Tappen. Palace misses Tappen. Palace misses Tappen. Own goal, Crystal Palace. Spurs 1-0 up. Palace misses Tappen. Palace misses Tappen. Maddison goes down the other end. Son scores. And then after that, they decide to score at the end. You know, Jacob, that in football, those are going to go against you at a point in time. That's just how football works. So the same way they're going for you right now, there is going to come a point in time, 3-4 months from now, where it's going to go against you. Do you acknowledge that that's a footballing fact? Luck goes both ways.
1,000%. But right now I'm playing with house money. All right. I walked into the casino. I put 20 on the first slot machine and I got 10 grand and now I'm playing with it. And everyone's like, oh, is this a big baller? No, I'm not a big baller. I'm just playing with house money. I'm having a good time. Don't shoot me down now. That's all I'm saying. Now, when we talk about Crystal Palace, I mean, I just want to say that shows resiliency. If you have one shot on target, you end up with 2 goals in the match. That shows you did something all right, and you got the dub. So, hey, we could dissect it however you want. You could look at the glass of water however you want. Is it half full? Is it half empty? For me, there could be this much water in it. I'm gonna find a way to stay hydrated, baby. That's just what it is.
bro, let me. I gotta take exception, bro, because you're saying that Spurs are in a title race, yet you refuse to move your expectations to say that your expectations should be top 4, bro. Well, this is like you're trying to take the pie and eat it. You know what I mean? You're trying to have everything. You know what I mean? You gotta. If you're saying you're in a title race, then surely your expectations have to be you're in the top 4. You're in the top 4. Surely you can't just be like we're in a title race, but if we don't finish in the top 4, then it's okay because that's my expectations.
I hear you. But for me personally, and I'm not speaking for any other fan here, but for me personally, I'm done saying we're gonna get top 4 this season. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of celebrating getting top 4. That's just me. And now if we want to say my expectations should change, yeah, they should change, and likely they have changed. But as someone who goes on and puts my face, like, I got to keep my energy the same, because there's people who've heard me say I'm going to keep my expectations the same throughout this season, no matter what happens, no matter how bad or how good we are, because I know as much as we've had good times right now, the bad times could be just around the corner. When we take that first L, the first 2 L's back to back, how do we respond? How's our resiliency then? I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Back L's. Let's go.
Well, that's just not going to happen. I'll rub the crystal ball and tell you that's not ifs and buts. Ain't had nothing to do with that. Ain't no 3 L's. Angel Postecoglou going to have an aneurysm. That ain't going to happen. I'm saying, but I would love to see how we respond. Like when we take our first loss, I'm curious to see how we respond. I've actually said I'm looking forward to our first loss to see how we respond to it, because I haven't seen how we respond in certain situations. I've seen in 90 minutes how we respond to situations, but I haven't seen on a week-by-week basis what is it like when we come back if we get spanked by somebody 3-0 or something. I mean, it hasn't happened. No one's been good enough to do it. But when it does eventually happen, I'm logical enough to know that this is not forever. But I'm going to enjoy right now. But my expectations are going to remain the same, because like y'all said, like we've all acknowledged, one injury to Maddison, Son, Udogie, Van de Veen, Romero, Bissouma, Vicario. I can keep going, but that's 7 positions I just named off the top of my head. One injury there, and we look a lot different. Look how we looked without Bissouma. A lot different. Now, Højbjerg could do
Who's
okay.
your second choice keeper? Is it Forster?
Fraser Forster.
I can't lie to you. That Palace, the first half chance, the first half, the amazing save Vicario pulled off. If that was Forster, that's 1-0 Palace right there. So you are right. You are right.
There's been a few games that's the case where he keeps us in it when it's still 0-0. And that's the thing with this defense. We allow these chances where you could say a more clinical side would finish that. And I would agree with you. But
Okay.
but LB, my point in saying all that is I hear you. Like, surely my expectations should change. And admittedly they have. But my what I'm expecting, I'm not going to sit up here and be like, we're challenging for top 4. I'm done with that talk. Ainge Postecoglou's not here to challenge for top 4. He's here to try and win as much as he can and build a squad. And I want to get in on that ground level. Look, y'all shaking your head. I understand. This is something you've heard from Spurs fans for years. We got Jose Mourinho. It's time. Okay, and then Nuno, let's not talk about that. And then Conte, we got Conte. He's a winner. I got a little Conte, look. I mean, he's in a kangaroo right now, but I got a little Conte, though. I love Conte. He's a winner. We get him. Surely we're going to win something.
You actually just go get a kangaroo just for Ainge?
No, kangaroos have been my favorite animal since I was about 5 years old. So it's actually a wedding of, it's just symbiotic minds thinking alike. So
Okay.
when Ainge came to town, I knew it was destiny. And that's another. But again, something else that I will say that gives me a little bit more.
You're such a fraud. I knew you were gonna name that like that. I know how you play with words. You know, you're very smart with the way you do these things. Unbelievable, Jeff. But fair enough. You know what? With Spurs, I'ma just lay low on the hatred because it seems like the more I hate, the more they're winning. So I'ma just keep it stepping. So look,
Keep predicting those 4-1s, please.
Listen, I'm not gonna say anything. Next week, I'm gonna predict a Spurs win just so Chelsea win. Chelsea. Big up to BIG who says, Jacob, stop saying you beat Liverpool. You didn't. The VAR said it was a goal. In terms of a football game, you tied and they handed you the points. And on top of that, let me also add on to your point, BIG. The Premier League Independent Referees Panel, not Hussam, the Premier League Independent Referees Panel came out and said Jota should have sent off. So there's
play cleaner. You don't leave it up to somebody's decision on if you get to finish the match or not. That's what I would say to either one of those folks.
He won the ball and got a yellow. He won the ball and got a yellow.
He didn't win the ball. He got sent off. That's what happened. That's what his. Hold on. This is the victory kangaroo. This is just another kangaroo I keep around. He only comes out when we get victories. And what's that? Oh, we did get 3 points versus Liverpool. Thank you for that. I'll put you right back where you belong. Victory kangaroo only comes out when we get dubs. So he says versus Liverpool, he came out and he partied.
Zoo, man. Bro's got a zoo.
I'm waiting for the snake to come out. That'll be Madison. Big up to BIG says, rather put my what in a blender than to be a Tottenham Hotspur fan. Hey, big up to you, BIG. I agree with you. I'd rather do that too than be a Spurs fan. Damn, you're just miserable your whole life. And by the way, Jacob, you know how Vel likes to fuck with the people who come on the channel. Since you called them out earlier, as a gift for you.
I said shout out. I said big up. I said did nothing but big him up.
This is Vel's partaking gift to you as we end this first section. This is the same. This is right here. You guys know the biggest moment in Spurs history belongs to Liverpool when we beat them in the Champions League final. So yeah, big up.
Yeah,
man.
Good thing he put that ESPN logo over the armpit stain right there. I know Sissoko's armpit stained that trophy a little bit, but good thing he put that logo over it.
You just said hello. Can I ask the kangaroo who won the Champions League final? Exactly. Thank you very much. And anyway, look, staying in London. Big up to BIG, big up to Dinesh and Ozan for the super chats. Big up to you guys. 400 people are watching us right now. Please do run the likes up. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're yet to do so. Go subscribe to all these great guys' channels that are in the description. Keep getting involved in the chat as you guys can see. It's a very interactive video. Hit the like button, subscribe. Daud, Arsenal Football Club. Talk to me about your season so far. With this whole title race thing. You made a crazy claim at the start. You're the only club in the title race with City. What are you telling?
Let's put the title race to the side for a second. We're the only club on this panel that are in all 4 competitions: the Premier League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, and the Champions League. I'm alongside of the Spurs fan that only 2 teams are unbeaten in the Premier League. We're on fire. We're steaming through teams. We're unbeaten. We've got West Ham tomorrow where we'll get that out of the way. But when it comes back to the Premier League, we finally have a squad after 20 years that can actually win the Premier League. I've been supporting Arsenal since 2006. And I'd probably say that this is probably the highest feeling when it comes to actually believing, that we're going to actually win the title in the first time since 2006. And Man City have their troubles. Tottenham Hotspur haven't got the squad to win the title.
We have our troubles.
you've got troubles. Yeah, we'll speak about that later.
Oh, we'll come on to that.
Liverpool Football Club haven't got a holding midfielder. So realistically speaking, out of the 4 teams here, we're the most likely, we're the most stable club. We've got the biggest squad, and I don't see any other team winning the title except for us. So I've got that kind of expectation. I'm excited. We've got Newcastle coming up. They've got so many injuries. We should be able to beat that Newcastle team. We've got the best holding midfield in the Premier League this season with Declan Rice. And I don't know what else to say, because there's nothing bad I can say about this club at the moment, because they are everything that we've set. The targets for us Arsenal fans compared to Spurs fans, we give our club a target. We say title, Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup.
You're 4 years in, you should set a target.
Spurs fans
if I'm 4 years in, I'm setting targets too.
Spurs fans say if we win the title challenge, but if we don't finish top 4, it was never going to happen. So with Spurs fans, you don't know what they were aiming for. Are they aiming for top 6? Are they aiming for top 4? Are they aiming for title challenge? For us, we've got a clear target. For us, we've got a clear target. It's a Premier League. 93 points last season compared to this season. We're increasing our squad. So you can say 93% all you want, but this season is going to be 100%. That's all you need to know.
I'll be honest with you, BIG. That's a good super chat, because Szoboszlai starts for Arsenal right now ahead of Havertz. So I don't know.
Havertz doesn't start for us. That's a problem.
His thing, you're not going to pick and choose. Partey is always on the hospital bed. That's like me choosing Thiago. We don't see him to begin with. So let me not even say anything. So let me hear from LB. Let's go LB on this one, because Jacob's heart is full of hatred towards Arsenal. So let's.
That's not true. I'm very unbiased. I can take all my emotions out when I look at Arsenal. I'm very logical.
Listen, man. Bro flexed on being in all 4 competitions, right? The FA Cup hasn't even started yet, right? Everyone on this panel is still involved in the Premier League. The Champions League group stage with 3 matches in, bro basically flexed on beating Brentford in the Carabao Cup, man. Like, being in all 4 competitions, like, ain't a flex in October. Get to February, and we'll have that conversation again. We've not even started one of the competitions. That doesn't start until 2024 for us on this panel. So that means absolutely nothing. And I look at Arsenal. I don't think you've improved. I don't think Arsenal have improved since last year. I don't think they did enough in the transfer window. I think you moved a bit weird in the transfer window. That you needed more attacking players. That you needed another defender. Signing the Havertz was a madness. I think signing Raya was silly as well. I don't think that was necessary. I think that's put Arteta under unnecessary pressure. You're seeing Arsenal fans debating with themselves now about who should be in goal. That's on Arteta. Stability there. So, yeah, listen, again, I don't really see... I'm not seeing anything at this moment in time to show me that Arsenal have made the step up. If you look at last year in the Europa League... Yeah, I mean, if you have a look at the 10 most played players for Arsenal in the Europa League this year, I think like one of them will be playing in the Champions League this season. You rested a lot of your players in the Europa League last year compared to the Champions League this season. I think there's pressure on Arteta to win those 2 trophies. You're speaking about domestic cups, Carabao Cup, FA Cup. Obviously, Arteta threw the one in the FA Cup against City last year when he come to the Etihad and put out a weak defence. I don't think he's going to get away with that this year. So I think he's going to have to stretch the squad. And I don't think Arsenal have the squad for it. I don't think they're a bad team. I don't think they'll be a million miles away. I think City will win it. I don't think you'll be a million miles away. I think, again, you'll be within 6-7 points of City when they win the title. But I don't think anyone can really say that you've done enough in the summer transfer window to take that next step, bro.
Just to say something, for me, I disagree highly, because I think Man City, their transfer business this summer, for me, it's been a massive flop. Bringing in Kovacic, which I don't rate high at all. Neves from not Neves, sorry, from Wolverhampton. Nunez from Nunez. For me, if you said to me buy Kovacic and Nunez, I wouldn't take them. Okay, Man City are supposed to sign the high caliber players where they could go to any team, and then now they're signing players where, for me, I wouldn't take Matheus Nunes. I wouldn't take Kovacic, and you got someone that's in Phillips where you've bought him for £45 million and he's not even good enough to be a backup holding midfielder. Rodri's out for 3 games, and you see how weak Man City are without Rodri. Rodri gets a long-term injury, and that's a title done for you guys, because you've got no one that can actually cover that position. For us, we've got at least Partey that can come in if Rice needs a rest. And we've done you twice this season already in the Premier League and in the Community Shield. Where
hang on a minute. Let's talk about that. The Community Shield, we was a minute away from winning. What did you scored a deflected
it's
goal.
not over until it's over.
No. I accept that. But you scored a deflected goal, and then in the Emirates, you scored a deflected goal. So let's not make it sound like you've done us. Like you know what I mean. It was very, very close games, and I would also say it's pretty convenient that you just left out Gvardiol and you left out Doku there. Yes, I accept that, we've lost Gundogan and neither Kovacic or Nunez are as good as Gundogan. But you've also got to remember that team last year was, some people are calling that team the best team they've ever seen. I don't call that the best team I've ever seen. I still think Pep Guardiola's Barcelona was the best team I've ever seen, but, each to their own. So even if we've slightly regressed in our midfield, slightly regressed off one of the best teams ever. So... And again, throw this back to Arsenal, because we speak about Arsenal. I'm just saying, I don't think Arsenal have done enough. You know what I mean? I think Rice, great signing. I still think you're weak in defence. I think you needed more there. Obviously, it's a shame that Timber got injured. I think that was a good signing. But in your forward line, I don't think you've done enough. And I think it should come down to Arteta, because the signings of Havertz at 60 million and the signing of Raya, which was unnecessary, I don't think you've done enough there. You're going to stretch your squad out.
I disagree, because for me, Declan Rice can play in numerous positions. We've got. If
you play Rice centre back, you make your midfield weaker. That's the problem.
Yes, but if you look at our defense, for me, one underrated player that you guys don't watch Arsenal 90 minutes every week. Sorry, for me, Jakub Kiwior is a fantastic backup centre back. If you saw his performance the other weekend against Sheffield United, I know it's Sheffield United, but he is capable enough to be starting for Arsenal week in, week out. You talk about Zinchenko, our defense being weak.
Like last year when Saliba got injured, did he do well then?
He played right-sided centre-back, okay? Come on. He's a left foot, he plays right-sided centre-back, okay? That's a completely...
He's not good enough to just move over to save your title challenge. Like, he just collapsed the whole thing because he was playing, 15, 20 yards over to the right hand side. Come on, man.
No, it wasn't just that. It wasn't just a defense. Okay, going back to that, it was Partey got injured. Obviously Saliba got injured. We lost Tomiyasu. Ramsdale started making mistakes. That's why we replaced him with David Raya. There was numerous positions that we were underperforming in the last 10 games. This season, Arteta's brought in David Raya. He's brought in Declan Rice because of Partey's injuries. Saliba's now is looking fully fit. We've got Timber coming back in January. We're signing, hopefully, Ivan Toney and Pedro Neto in January transfer window. Or if it's not them two, we're definitely going to get two signings in the January transfer window. So it's looking is upwards and onwards for us. Everything's looking positive. So when you look at the next,
you guys challenged last year, admittedly. And then you spent 160 on two different players, and one of them doesn't start, and no one knows his position and where he fits in. And the other one's just, in my opinion, an expensive Højbjerg.
Havertz is our third choice striker. That's what he is.
Sorry, say that again, Jacob. What did you just call Rice?
Look, I got to keep it consistent. If I say this on any channel, I have to say it on every channel. I think Rice is a great player, but anytime I ask people to say what are 5 things he does well or exceeds well on the pitch, they say the same 5 things that people used to defend Pierre-Emile Højbjerg with. So how am I supposed to believe that this guy is really going to take y'all to the next step? My question is, you're 4 years into a project.
Is Højbjerg on the same level as Rice?
No, I'm just saying that they do the same things that people say. He hits game winners. He pings balls over the top. He's won balls back in the defense. I'm just saying, unless there's 5 things you can tell me that Rice does well that Højbjerg doesn't.
Why did you look worse when you didn't have Basuma instead of when you had Højbjerg instead of Basuma against Crystal Palace?
Because Basuma's that guy. Basuma's absolutely that guy.
So Basuma's not on Declan Rice's level?
Basuma's above Declan Rice's level, in my opinion. Right now, in the first 10 games, or 9 since 8 since he left halfway through Luton. He was bad at Luton.
Okay.
So maybe in a small sample size, I would say yes. But look, again, I know people hate it when I say it. I just ask the question: what does Rice do exceedingly well on a pitch? And when I hear the answers, I'm like, that's what a lot of people used to defend Højbjerg with. So what is the difference? And I watch, it's like, okay, maybe he's
Wow.
+3, +4 at certain things, but again,
He went there.
I just have to keep the energy consistent. People could call me whatever they want. That's just my assessment. And admittedly, you could say that I don't watch Arsenal every single 90 minutes. But the 90 minutes when I do tune in, I'm just like, what does he do that's so immaculate? What does he do? He had that one deflected goal that went in that everyone lost their minds about. Outside of that, I ain't seeing it. Maybe I need
performance against Man City at the Emirates.
Okay, he was good versus Man City. I'll give you that. I do admit he stood, but it's just for me when I see like this price tag, I say this guy's got to stand off the page. It's the same energy I kept when they signed, when Anthony was signed, when Mudryk was signed, when these players go for absorbent amounts of money. I say, all right, stand off. I watch them and I say, let me see what they do. Maybe they jump off the page to me, and maybe it's just my bias clouding my judgment here. And admittedly, that could be what it is. I'm just saying. When I watch Arsenal, Rice doesn't stand out to me. He just seems like a good, solid player, like a good guy. But you know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't excite me. He doesn't do anything that I'm like, wow, that guy. Now, I would love him at Spurs. Like,
but when has the DM ever been exciting? Isn't that a fair thing to say?
Bassuma's pretty damn exciting this season. I would say Bassuma's pretty exciting to watch this season.
Do you know why Spurs fans get hyped up about Basuma? Because he does a little shimmy, he does a little step over, he does a little no look pass. That's when they put him on. That's when they. Is it because Rice doesn't do a no look pass? Is it because Rice doesn't have his shots all the way down? Is it what does Rice need to do that needs to make it look like wow he's that guy? Because he's doing the basics. He's stable in our midfield where our midfield has been very very unstable for the past 20 years. We haven't had a proper holding midfielder. For the past 20 years, I'd say since probably Gilberto was probably our last proper holding midfielder. So if you look at Rice,
I wouldn't necessarily say Rodri's exciting to watch. Rodri's the best DM in the world, but we cannot sit up here and call any DM exciting to watch. That's just my honest opinion. I don't think you could be excited to watch a DM like.
But Rodri stands off the page. His quality stands off. When you watch City, LB may be better to answer this. When you watch City, Rodri stands out. He picks up the ball and it's like, wow, look at that guy go. That's my point. And again, I'm not saying that Rice is a bad player, so don't get it twisted. I'm just making. I see the correlation. Now the points in the graph may be different, but I see the damn correlation between Declan Rice and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. They both do the dirty job decent.
Højbjerg can, so his ball recovery.
Just called him Højbjerg. I love Jacob, man. He's been different.
So the space that Rice, we're talking about attributes. The way Rice carries the ball, can Højbjerg do that? The way he drives with it? No. Okay. Is Højbjerg on the same level when it comes to aerial duels as Rice?
As what? Sorry.
As Rice when it comes to aerial duels, as in like winning headers.
No. Højbjerg's not good in the air. No.
Okay, Højbjerg's not good in the air. Okay.
There you go. Hey, I'm amazed. This is so far 2 things that an Arsenal fan has named that Rice could do better.
I can name you so many things, but we'll leave it there because I'm flabbergasted that you're actually putting Højbjerg on the same level as Declan.
I didn't say same level. I didn't say same. You can check the tape. Never said same level. I just said the correlation is there. The similarities are there, and I just wonder like what makes him so good because when I watch him, I don't see anything that's. He reminds me of Højbjerg. He goes under the radar, does things that people sometimes can overlook if you're casually watching a match. And
the funny thing that you do is you say things but you don't say at the same time. Yeah, that's what politicians do. When you ask a politician a direct question, he'll give you an answer with a question, as in like his answer will be a question. You're not answering any questions. Since we started the stream, you haven't answered any questions yet. And that's what
I'm worried about. I've answered some, but you're right.
No, but it's being very vague. It's being very vague.
Well, with the Rice thing, it's more just I throw the fishing line out there, see if any fishies want to come nibble, see if they see, oh, look at that, there's a little worm right there, maybe I can eat that, and see, hey, if I could hook you, I could hook you. It's just part of trying to have an engaging conversation. But you're right.
The idea of comparing you to Matt Turner is crazy. I can't lie to you.
Matt Turner's penalty saves for U.S. men's national team is through the roof. I think he's only not saved 2 penalty shots for U.S. So if you're saying that makes America look bad, then sorry about it, Big. That's just what it is.
Anyone else want to say anything else about Arsenal? I think Arsenal going to win the league this season.
Nah. Why you think that?
I think Arsenal got stronger. I think the signing of Declan Rice has made Arsenal so much stronger, because when you sign a world-class player, it's better than signing 3 very good players. When you sign someone in the caliber of Declan Rice, specifically given the fact that he won alongside West Ham, of course, he won the Conference League. I think that's going to bring massive experience to the team. I think Arsenal are ready now. It seems like Arsenal are ready.
What was their midfield last year compared to what it's going to be now?
It was Partey, Odegaard, and who the fuck was the third guy? Xhaka.
What's it going to be now?
Now, if everyone's fit, then it's Partey, Rice, and Odegaard.
No, but Partey's not fit.
Okay, it's not about. Okay, 1 second. It's not about Partey. It's not that. Last season we only had Odegaard, Partey, and Xhaka. This season we've got players that can come into the squad. We've got a fully fit Emile Smith-Rowe, which you guys might laugh at him, but the 2 seasons ago him and Saka were our 2 best players. Him coming back a fully fit Emile Smith-Rowe. We've got. I know you talk about Havertz, but Havertz can do a job against teams like Sheffield United, against teams like Bournemouth, where Odegaard couldn't get rested. Odegaard had to play every single game. Now he can get rested like he did against Sheffield United, where Havertz, we laugh at him as in like we don't rate him at all. But against teams like Bournemouth, Sheffield United, he'll do the job. Smith-Rowe will do the job. Fabio Vieira will do the job against the lesser teams. We've got Trossard now, a full season with Trossard. He only came in January last season, where he can play in that number 8 position. We've got Reece Nelson, a fully fit Reece Nelson, can actually do a job against lesser teams. So it's not about the starting level that we have, is that the squad that we have, that players that the fringe players that can actually come and do the job against the lesser teams. That's what I think that makes us title favourites. Not title favourites, sorry, but most likely to win the title.
Fair. I think if we're talking about favourites, then favourites is 100% going to be City, in my opinion.
Yeah, City,
Yeah, but if it's just... I don't think City will win the league this season. But I don't think City leave this season empty-handed. I think City are going to win the Champions League. That's my honest opinion. I think they go back-to-back Champions League, but they don't win the league this season.
What's stopping City from winning the league again this year?
Because for me, history,
motivation stuff, bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I just think is just. I mean,
no team has won the treble on the
motivation and history are my two things. Yeah, but here's the thing, LB. Here's the thing. Remember, I'm not saying City leave the season empty-handed. I'm saying you do back-to-back Champions League, which is massive too. That's massive.
But why have we got the motivation to do that?
No, but that's different, because when you taste European success,
no. Why is it different?
You go again. 100% it's different.
Why is it different?
Okay, the reason why I think, first of all, when I say motivation levels, I'm not saying City have... Actually, let me segue us to the City segment first. So since we start with City, I want to hear your opinion first as a City fan. Big up to Felipe, who says, I think City win, Arsenal second, LFC third, Spurs fourth, locked. But January could change things a lot. Andre, for me, will elevate Liverpool high, Tony to Arsenal as well. When we get to the Liverpool section, I'm asking the guys their opinions, because you guys know my opinions as this is my channel. So I'll hear their opinions first before I speak. But I think the 2 glaring things are still there. DM centre-back. I bitched about them for 3 months of the summer. No one listened. Had I been sporting director, I'd be sat here saying we're going to win the league. But, it is what it is, Felipe, man. It's just this same 2 thing. And make no mistake, the January transfer window matters, because it could change my mind to City winning the league or Liverpool winning the league, or it could change so many things. By the way, I've been mocking Spurs since the start of the season, but if they have a very good January transfer window, then also this sways. If they do another 2 Madisons, then, life could change for them too. So
hey, I can't wait for that blonde hair. I can't wait.
First of all, it's not blonde, it was white. And I said, if Spurs are going to challenge, I'm going to sing, when the Spurs go marching in, I'm going to dye my hair white. And you guys know I'm a man of my word, because what's the pinned video? Me shaving my hair. So, yeah, big up to you guys. Anyway, look, 500 people are watching us. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Big up to Felipe. Big up to Dinesh. Big up to BIG and Ozan for the super chats. Big up to you guys. Big up to all the people who show us all the love and support. Make sure you're all hitting the like button. Guys, we've got 500 people watching us. We want to be on 250 likes minimum. So please do slap the likes. Do subscribe. This is you watching us right now. See, this is football. You hit this X right here and you hit this like button. I like my own videos. I do. Hold that if you don't like it. Anyway, LB, Manchester City, you know, kind of like Daud that spoke
If you don't
about
like
them a little
yourself,
bit.
how can you
So
expect
did you.
anyone else to like it?
Exactly. If you don't like yourself, who else gonna like you? So make sure you guys are liking the video. So anyway, LB, Manchester City so far this season. What have you made of the season so far? Expectations in terms of the title race and everything.
Yeah, happy with how the season's gone so far. Very content. I think we'll win the league. I think we'll win the Champions League. I think we'll not win the FA Cup, but I think we'll win the Club World Cup. So it's another treble, but a different treble. Yeah, man, I've watched a lot of football this year. I've watched a lot of you guys play. I've watched a lot of European football. I think that Champions League really should be coming back to Manchester again. And as I said, I just don't think anyone's done enough to close the gap. So I think City will win it again. And I will accept, I think City have probably regressed ever so slightly just because we lost Gundogan.
Riyad Mahrez?
Nah, I like Mahrez. I didn't want him to leave. I thought it was silly that City sold him. But I think we're covered on the wings. I think with Bernardo Silva, right wing, that's no. Bernardo Silva for me, right wing is more than adequate. Then you've got Jeremy Doku as well, who looks, frightening. I think we're more than covered there. Even Alvarez, we're not even had Kevin De Bruyne all season. Alvarez has dropped back and done a sterling role. So yeah, listen. This motivation thing, don't buy it. We've got the greatest manager of all time in Pep Guardiola. He's not gonna, not motivate this team. He's gonna get the boys motivated. And I don't think there's any sign so far this season that the team. I mean, surely we would have been seeing signs already that the team's not motivated. We're not seeing that at all. So yeah, I just don't think anyone's done quite enough. I thought in the summer, Liverpool were looking decent with their signings, but they didn't do enough. And as I said before, I don't think Arsenal have done enough with their signings either. So
Okay.
I think City will win it.
For me, I'd say, yeah.
Go on. So I just want to ask LB a question that City fans. This is a question that divides City fans. Who do you think is going to challenge you more, Liverpool or Arsenal this season? I get 50-50 responses on this.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I've flip-flopped on this a lot.
Fair enough. He's admitted it.
No. I literally flip-flop all the time. I think Liverpool's attack is one of the most dangerous attacks in Europe, and will win them games that they shouldn't win, i.e. Newcastle away. But will that stick throughout the course of a 38-game season? No. So I think Arsenal will probably, but I don't think Liverpool will be like a million miles away. Again, I think City, Liverpool, and Arsenal will all finish within like 12 points of each other, which sounds a lot, but it's actually not really. Like, what's that, like 4 games or something? So like four wins. So yeah, I think Arsenal will probably finish second.
Yeah, I don't think
I have flip-flopped.
Go on, Daud.
Yeah, I don't think that is a question. Liverpool can see way too many goals. Liverpool, you don't know what Liverpool you're going to get week in, week out. For me, Liverpool are a bit too inconsistent. But just going back to Man City for a second, last season, I'd say the main player in the last 10 games that won you the title was Ilkay Gundogan. For him, the clutch goals that he was scoring from midfield, where I remember that goal he scored against Everton with that flick. And what players in Man City team can do that right now? You talk about Riyad Mahrez, where you think you got cover. Riyad Mahrez for me was the second best right wing in the Premier League, alongside Mohamed Salah. Where for him as an out and out winger, I don't think there's many wingers in the Premier League as good as Riyad Mahrez. You talk about Doku as well, frightening. Doku came on against us, had 5 minutes against Zinchenko, couldn't get past him. Pep Guardiola shifted him to the left wing against Ben White, had no answer for Ben White. Where if you had someone like Riyad Mahrez coming off the bench, if you had Gundogan starting, I think you would have beaten us at the Emirates. So for me, Man City have gone a lot weaker than last season. There is enough goals from your midfield. Kopish gets a goal every 5 years. Mateus Nunez doesn't score goals. Calvin Phillips is useless. So got a torn hamstring where he might come back and then do it again. So he's injury prone. He's at party now. So you've got I'd say Bernardo Silva and Roger as I'd say the only 2 quality midfielders that you have, because KDB is obviously injured. So you've actually regressed a lot. So that's why I think that it's not going to be comfortable for you guys to win the title again.
Okay.
I don't think.
Can I just respond to that, Jacob, bro? And then.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I mean, Riyad Mahrez last year played 1,924 minutes in the Premier League season. He actually, if you take the stats there, he wasn't critical to our team, and I think taking Doku off of 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever against Arsenal in a game that City set up completely different to how we normally set up is a little bit harsh. The Gundogan thing, bro, I'm not gonna debate you on the Gundogan. I agree. I think losing Gundogan was a bad move for City, but I think still we've got enough. You're forgetting that we have the best finisher in world football in Erling Haaland at our football club. This guy scored 50 goals. You know what I mean? We'll win games that we shouldn't win. I think.
But if Haaland doesn't score, who scores in your midfield right now? Where are you going to get the goals from your midfield?
Rodri scores a few goals. I think Kevin De Bruyne, who's coming back next month, he can score and he can assist. I think we're going to be more than fine, man. I think we're going to be more than fine. And our defence, by the way, it's got even better with the signing of Gvardiol. I mean, what's our defence this year? We got the best defence in the league. We're only one goal behind Arsenal.
Yeah,
I think we're completely chilling. Alvarez, by the way, the chat. Alvarez has dropped into that attacking midfield role this year and probably been our best player, if we're being honest with you. World Cup winner. So, listen, I think this thing about, if this guy gets injured or this guy gets injured, we've had that before with Pep Guardiola.
When's KDB back, by the way? Did you say next month?
Next month, yeah.
Has a date been announced or anything for his
Well,
comeback?
it was originally January, but they reckon he's going to be back at the end of November. But I reckon they'll be slow with it. They're not going to rush him back. But we've had Kevin De Bruyne out for a season before. I think it was 2019. The guy played 900 minutes in the Premier League. We won the league. We had Fernandinho out the year that we did the Centurions. Gundogan slotted into the number 6 position and played there. Pep Guardiola will find a solution if we get injuries. There's no doubt about that.
Okay, fair enough. Jacob, what do you want to say on City? Because I heard that I speak earlier.
I mean, I don't think anyone. I don't know how anyone could look at City and say, yeah, they're not, the eventual winners of this league. To me, you take one player out, they got one or two guys, and there's probably someone in the academy who could do exactly what Pep needs them to do. I mean, just look at the likes of Cole Palmer, Rico Lewis, etc. Like, there's even some dude, Bob, I don't even know who the hell he is, and he's apparently pretty good too. And so when it comes to City, I think, from an Arsenal standpoint, I could get why they want them to not be as good as last year. I can understand that. I don't think that. You can never count City out. Look, last season they weren't in first place for majority of it, and they still won the league. They find a way to get it done, and that's what you see over the course of 38 games in a Premier League season. Is the cream will always rise to the top. Now, right now, I'm sitting pretty at the top, but I know you scratch our starting 11, you're going to start seeing the dust mites under the carpet, so to speak. But with City, you scratch at the, what's that under there? Oh, Julian Alvarez could play the 10. Oh, okay. Oh, what's that? Grealish isn't doing so well. Well, Phil Foden can do that. Or shit, we'll throw Phil Foden on the right. Pep Guardiola is the best manager in this league for a reason, and some would say in the world for a reason. There's a reason how he got there, and to me, yeah, I don't ever doubt the GOATs. Personally, I don't doubt them until they give me reason to. I've said as a Spurs fan, like, I love playing City. I love the fact that they've never scored at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But I've said, again, to remain the continuity is key for me. I've said Ainge Postecoglou will break all myths and all fables and hoodoos and voodoos surrounding Tottenham Hotspur. And one of those will be Man City. I know that they will come to Tottenham Hotspur and they're going to score against us this season. That's going to happen. Now, they may actually even do the double on us this year. That's probably going to happen because if I'm calling it straight and I'm saying Ainge is going to break this, all these curses for us, there are going to be some good curses that I like that are going to get broken as well. But that's part of cleaning shop. You got to tear it all down. But what I will say about City, I know I just related it back to Spurs because I love doing that. But in regards to City, I just look at their backups. Their backups start in 90% of the league, in my opinion. The Pep Guardiola's got a guy who he's already planning to start if so-and-so's not ready. I don't ever doubt the guy. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit. Maybe I'm I just see City as the winners of this league. They're the legitimate reason why I think at the end of the day, Arsenal won't be able to get over the line. Liverpool, I've thrown them that. I know we were talking a little bit about top four. I've actually picked Liverpool to go second. I thought that they would give City the best run for their money because I think I rate Klopp as a manager. Now, I don't rate him as a press conference person. No, I think he's quite silly in those. But as a manager, a tactician, you can't not rate the guy. He's a winner. And I think that he can get it to he can get Liverpool right. I see them as more of a challenger for City than I see Arsenal. Again, could be my bias clouding my judgment. I think Arsenal have taken steps backward in their attempt to move forward, personally. You start adding more questions into answers that have been answered, then you start getting a little bit shaky ground, in my opinion, for Arsenal. So I do see City as the eventual winners. I don't see much that can stop them. Again, at every position, I see quality, and it starts at the top with Pep Guardiola. He's the best manager in the league. You got to
how
give
can
it to him.
someone think that City ain't gonna win it, and that's me. So let me tell you how. What I said earlier on to LB, I'm gonna expand on it. When I say motivation levels, make no mistake, I'm not saying City aren't motivated because that would be false. I just think the other two teams are more motivated. Now, whether that motivation level will be enough, only time will tell. And second of all, make no mistake, I would be disrespecting City if I'm saying they're going to leave the season empty-handed. I don't think they will. I think they're going to win the most prestigious award in football, which is the Champions League. I think that's still the biggest club competition in the world. I think they're going to go back to back in that. I think European success is different. You want to do that again and again and again and again because it's so prestigious. It's like the number one thing. And the second thing is, I think they have Guardiola is a fantastic signing. Doku is very good against certain teams, not so good against others because you probably need someone maybe a bit different. That's why Grealish being there is important, which is why Grealish has had to step up. But I do agree with Dawood's takes regarding the midfield, though, because listen, first of all, I don't wish injury on anyone, and injuries could happen to anyone, including my club, including Jacob's club, Dawood's club. Injuries do happen in football. It's just a reality. But I think with that midfield spot specifically, I think Rodri's been so important for them, completely different to other players in the past, and we've seen it in the games that he didn't play. Rodri hasn't played 4 games this season. They lost 3 out of 4. That's not opinionated. That's just a factual statement. He didn't play 3 games. They lost 3 of the 4 games, and Rodri is very key and important to their success. Now, will Pep Guardiola find a way? He will. He'll probably find a way. Will they sign in January? Possibly. If City do sign a DM in January and do make positive changes in January, then this whole thing could just flip on its head and City could win the league. So, yeah, that's my honest opinion. And history. There's a reason why no club has ever done a 4-peat. 3-peats have happened before. We've seen it historically happen before. But history records are there until they are broken. So history matters until it's broken, which is exactly why LB's probably heard for 5 years in the Champions League, oh, football heritage. How many times he heard heritage? Probably 9,000 times, until they went and broke that heritage, beat Real Madrid and won the Champions League. So until you make history or break history, history does matter. It's there.
Yeah.
Boom. Well, obviously, fairs. I mean, for me, again, like I say, Rodri never really gets injured. I think there was too much sort of spoken on the 3 games that we lost. I mean, there's other factors at play in them 3 games. And ultimately, I respect your opinion, Hussam, but I don't buy this motivation thing. I don't buy this history thing. I'm an optimist. I'm there saying records are there to be broken. And let's set some history. No club in this country has ever done 4 in a row. I'm saying let's be that team, and I'm quite happy with how we've started. I don't need to be top at this point of the season. Don't need to be top. You know what I mean? Last season proves no one cares who's top of the table in October. No disrespect, Jacob. It's match day 38 that counts. All I want is to be within 5 or 6 points of whoever's top, and when City get going, which is usually February, March time, I think we'll go on and kick on and win the league. I mean, in business time. Right now, I'm very happy with how we're going. Who knows? Maybe we've been linked with that Palacios guy at Bayer Leverkusen. Potentially might be getting him because I think he can play DM as well. So maybe we'll sign him. I know Phillips is going. I think we're chilling. I think we're absolutely chilling. And like I say, I think Arsenal fans, for me, talk about City regressing so much because I think deep down Arsenal fans know they've not done enough in the transfer window. So they know that the only way they're going to win the league is if City have regressed so much, and they try and believe that has happened. Well, it's not happened. City haven't regressed as much as Arsenal fans say. We've probably regressed 1%, and I think Arsenal fans know that, and that's why they keep saying City have regressed so much because they know they've not done enough in the window.
Pearce,
Y'all signed the
Pearce,
most
Pearce.
highly touted center back coming out of Europe, and I'm supposed to believe that y'all aren't going to carry on in China. You, Kevin De Bruyne coming back, Rodri, the best DM in the world right now. I mean, when he's fit. So I just see it like, how can anyone, as much as I would love to sit here and be like, we can challenge City, we can do this, we can do that. Like, I'm realistic enough to know that City is the City reminds me, and people are going to hate me because I'm American first, but second because I'm making an American reference real quick. But in the NBA, people see a half of NBA basketball and they say, oh, this team's going to win. There's two halves for a reason. And like the Premier League season, NBA scores could get shifted real quickly. Things could get out of hand real quick. And I think that's how City operate. They score enough in the first half just to stay in the match. And then the second half happens, boom, that's when they turn it on. That's what I see. So I never doubt City personally until they give me a reason to doubt them.
Yeah, I was just gonna say defensively, Man City have always been strong. I think they've only had that one season when they had Fernandinho playing alongside I think Otamendi at the back. But since Pep's come in, they've always been defensive. They've always been strong. So them getting Ake and Cavadio bulking up on the defense, they've always been strong defensively. For me, what worries, what Man City fans need to be worried about is that they're not scoring enough goals this season that they've been doing in previous seasons, where Grealish needs to start stepping up. Grealish needs to get double digits. Foden needs to start getting double digits when it comes to goals. Alvarez does, Haaland does, but who do I see in that midfield going to get double digits? Kovacic, no. Mateus Nunez, no. Kevin De Bruyne might if he comes back next month. And
what do you mean, might? He scores goals.
No, but when I say about Kevin De Bruyne, I'm not talking about his quality. I'm talking about is he going to be fit for the whole season, because he's got a hamstring problem and he's had the hamstring problem for a while now, and he's had surgery on it. He might take him a couple of months just to get back to his full best, because Kevin De Bruyne at his full best is when he's running at full pace with the ball, and that does take a toll on your hamstrings. Where we'll see if he goes back and he's playing every 3 days, where you're going to come back, you're going to be playing FA Cup, Premier League, Champions League next year. Where is that hamstring going to hold up for him? So we'll see with KDB. But yeah, that's the only thing I'm worried about is, if Man City fans should be worried about, is that they're going to score enough goals like they've done in the previous seasons.
Yeah, but by the way, I don't think that's a stupid. Just before, I think you want to wrap up on this one, but I don't think that's stupid thing to say. I agree. At the start of the season, I said my biggest concern is the goals, because Grealish doesn't score enough, Bernardo Silva doesn't score, Kovacic doesn't score, and the signing of Nunez, which it baffled me, to be honest. I don't know why we signed him. He doesn't look like a creative player either. But having said all that, I'm still confident in Haaland, in Kevin De Bruyne, just to get the job done. But if, as Daud said, maybe they have an off day or whatever, maybe he could be right. Who knows? But I think we're going to be okay. But I hear it.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Let me just go to the super chats before I know LB got to go in like 10-15 minutes. We just have a nice short little Liverpool segment. Big up to Selection says, Pep going 4 from 4 and Klopp finishes above Arteta. Put your house on it. Arsenal have not gotten massively stronger either. Rice and Timber, one half of them is injured. Fair enough, Selection. And look, if you feel that way, you feel that way. I can't lie to you. Just a question to everyone in the chat, by the way. Do you think City are gonna go 4 out of 4? So chat, typical, this is football fashion. Don't tell me your life stories. Don't tell me your paragraphs and shit. Just yes or no question. Are City gonna win 4 in a row? Simple as. Big up my guy Sam in the chat as well. Big up to you, Sam. Big up to Enigma, who says Man City will beat AFC this year. We will kick you out of the Champions League also if we meet. That part is for you, Jacob, right there at the end. I have no idea how to say that saying.
It's in today's day and age slightly offensive to a certain community, I would say. But the saying is only steers and queers come from Texas, so that's what that says.
Big up. I don't even know what any of that
Clearly,
means.
he's never been to Texas because we have the finest cream of the crop here in this state, I might say, as opposed to the other 49. But that's neither here nor there.
Big up, Enigma. Big up to Carl, who says current standing goals conceded 9-8-7-9. This is too little of a sample for us to conclude any team is good enough defensively or ready to challenge the title. And then he says, please bring this discussion in Christmas. My opinion don't let Liverpool have a lead of 5 points or more. Arsenal 3, just not good enough scorers. City most likely. So he's kind of given us a nice summary there. This is what LB was mentioning earlier on as well with the goals. Big up to you, Carl, by the way. Thank you so much for the super chats, number one. And number two, look, here's the thing. Now we're going to talk about Liverpool now next. I want to hear the guys' opinions because you guys are like, oh my God, you only let Liverpool fans talk about Liverpool. Okay, guys, since you've bitched so much, I've decided to, let non-Liverpool fans talk about Liverpool. So that's how it should be, football content creation. And here's the thing, when it comes to Liverpool Football Club, just in response to the super chat, before I let the guys let me know their thoughts. In my opinion, first of all, by the way, make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. Yalla, we want to get to 300 likes. That's the target for this video. Look, I agree with you. If Liverpool Football Club get a run going, then I could back it. But at the same time, as a Liverpool fan, because there's a reason why I'm in this top row next to LB. Now, I haven't won as much as LB, but at least one thing I can say that all the other 19 teams can't say is at least I've got a gold medal against Pep. In the last 10 years, only 2 managers have gold medals against Pep, and that's Klopp and Mourinho. So there's only 2 guys who have ever beaten Pep to a title. So, I trust in Klopp more than I trust in any other 19 other managers in the league to beat Pep Guardiola to a league title. However, I still think we have the same issue, which is DM and centre-back. Now, I'm sure even LB and other people in the chat who don't even support Liverpool will tell you, look, if Liverpool Football Club sign a DM in January and that DM gets his shit going, then the 2 teams that are capable of winning 17, 18, 19 games in a row is Liverpool Football Club. We can win 17, 18 in a row, but that DM position, you can't recall any elite team who's won stuff that does not have a DM. I'm so sorry. That's just how life works. You need a Fernandinho, a Rodri, a Fabinho. You can't even go back in time. You need a Roy Keane. You need a Patrick Vieira. You need a Makalele. You need players who are there in that position. So for me, look, our midfield currently works as a maybe start to the season and stuff. But my problem is not now. My problem is March time. My problem is April time. And unlike Arsenal fans, I have vision because I know what it's like in March time against Manchester City. So yeah, that's basically what I'll say on that. Big up to you, Carl. So who wants to start off the Liverpool section here from you guys? Whoever wants to go on Liverpool, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't mind starting. Yeah, Liverpool. I think when it comes to attacking, I think they probably are their best team in the Premier League when it comes to the attacking threat and the goals that they can get from midfield and the front three. That's the only thing that I'm worried about Liverpool is defensively, where they haven't got cover for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Yes, Gomez can play at the right back position, but is he good enough to win the title for you guys? You've got Robertson that's out for a couple of months now, and you're playing Tsimikas as a left back. Where for me, you're not good enough to be as a starting left back now for you guys. And when it comes to Van Dijk, I'd say at his best 18-19 season, where I'd say arguably that's probably the best season for a centre back I've ever seen. When it comes to equality, as in a quality just as a pure season by itself. And I don't think Van Dijk can hit that level again when it comes to playing at that level. I think he's got mistakes in him, which I'm very surprised about now, where he's more likely to get sent off, give a penalty away. Where that never happened. He went on a spell where it's 4 or 5 years where he rarely ever got sent off, rarely ever gave a penalty away. And you're relying on Mohamed Salah to be your main asset in the team, where previous
that's a great player to rely on, to be fair.
Yes, definitely. But before, when you had Mane and you had Firmino and you had Salah, when you came up against teams like us, against Man City, like I remember that interview with Pep Guardiola where he was sitting and he had a game. He's playing that weekday against a team I forgot it was, and then he's speaking to assistant manager, and the assistant manager said,
playing
like,
Everton that week.
Yeah, Everton, and the assistant manager like, what are you worried about? And he's thinking, I haven't been able to think. Like he's worried about that Liverpool front three. Is Salah going to play up front? Is Mane going to play up front? Where's Firmino going to play? where he was worried about that. That Liverpool are there. You know where they're going to play. You know who's going to play where. Where previous seasons you had that problem with oppositions because they didn't know who's going to play where. So that's the only problem with Liverpool. I think you've got an outstanding players in Van Dijk and Salah and Trent, and I think everyone else, they're really good players. You haven't got 4 or 5 outstanding players. Where for me, I'd say we have Saka, Martinelli, we've got Rice, we've got Saliba, where we've got numerous players, Odegaard, I'd say as well, where they start for a lot of Premier League teams. But for Liverpool, I think it's Salah, Van Dijk, Trent, and Alisson, sorry. And then everyone else is really good players. So, yeah, I think that's the difference.
Jacob, LB, go on.
Yeah. Well, for me, I think that, look, I've already said how much I rate Liverpool. I think that they're a hell of a side. Just, not good enough to beat Tottenham Hotspur this year, but that's okay. You got another try at it later the year. But what I will say about Liverpool is this.
You're just never gonna stop being an asshole. This is just you now. This is just you at this point. I wish we draw you in the FA Cup, and I would go against my rest players in the cup policy, and I'd play all starters just because it's fucking Spurs. I can't stand all this Spurs glazing by the media, man. I'm so tired of it.
Hey, the best kind of donut is glazed. You know what I mean? Look, I'm saying about Liverpool. My point about Liverpool is, look, Sabitsalai, you've got a great squad outside of McAllister at the 6. Don't know why that's happening. You brought Endo in. Again, I don't rate Klopp's talent ID because if I may reference, Hussam, I love referencing tweets from old, right? Yours, I love referencing yours, especially, if we play attacking football versus Arsenal, it's going to be 4-1, etc. But what I'm here to say is there's a tweet that I found from July 11th of this year where Klopp basically got with Schmadtke. I don't know who the hell Schmadtke is, but Schmadtke and Klopp got together.
Liverpool sporting director.
Well, they got together. And they decided that Mickey Van de Ven wasn't going to come to Liverpool and that he was not ready for the big jump yet. And then we brought him in 3 days later. He's starting his first Premier League match and doesn't look out of water. So when it comes to Klopp's talent ID, I don't know that necessarily I put my faith in it. That is why you have director of football. That is why you have scouting directors. And for Spurs, we're getting new analytic department to look at certain things in a statistical manner. But my point being with Liverpool is, if you can get it done in January, you should go on and contend. You should contend. That's who I pick, that I see more strengths at positions than Arsenal. And that's why I picked them to challenge for the title with City more than Arsenal, personally. Again, it could be my bias clouding my judgment, but my point being is that Liverpool's a lot like City in the sense that I don't count them out. No matter how good I feel we are, I know when we go up against Liverpool, we're going to see a lot of what I would say world-class players in different positions. Alisson, world-class goalkeeper. Mohamed Salah, best right winger in the league. Some would say the world. And Sabitsalai's been one of the better midfielders in our league. Admittedly, you have to say that. And, then I look at your attack and I say, there's so many goals all over the place. It's just a matter of which angle and which avenue they want to explore. We were talking about City, and there's certain areas where you're like, Grealish isn't going to score this many goals, and this guy's not going to give us so many goals. When you look at the attack of Liverpool, Salah's going to give you goals and assists. Luis Diaz is going to give you goals. Gakpo is a quality striker. He can get you goals as well. Darwin Nunez is a guy I rated. I wanted him at Spurs before he went for the absorbent amount that he went to Liverpool. I wanted him. I rate the player. I like the profile of him. So my point being is there's a lot of places where Liverpool are going to score. And at the end of the day, the same thing that I love being shameless about is you just have to score more than your opponent on that day. Now, if y'all can do that, we'll see. Virgil van Dijk, I think he's still coming back to his best. I don't think we've seen Van Dijk's best since he had that knee hyperextension thing that happened with that shambles goalkeeper, whatever it was. I'm just saying that he can still get back to his best, being one of the world's best at center back. I don't rate Joel Matip, except unless you want to play him as a striker. I think he's got a hell of a boot on him. Shout out Joel Matip.
My God.
And Trent Alexander-Arnold is one of the guys that he's one of the best right backs in the league if he, doesn't have to defend. So there's a lot of reasons why Liverpool, I think, have.
By the way, defensively, this season has been Trent's strength. He locked up Mitoma, and he's had, since he's back, he's had 4 solid performances at right back. Defensively, I'm saying.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm basing that off of last year, which is what a lot of rivals will do. Is they'll look at things in hindsight and say, well, last season Trent was atrocious defensively, and then you kind of played him at it. If I'm Klopp, I'm not saying I know more than Klopp, by the way, because again, I do not. But I'm saying if I'm Klopp, well, I would experiment with Trent at the 6, in my opinion, because I would think that Trent could give you a better performance at the 6 than a McAllister. McAllister came in for an injured Giovanni Lo Celso and had a great World Cup. And then y'all got him for his low fee because that was what his release clause was. But there's a quality player in there. It's just not, you don't want McAllister doing what a Højbjerg or Rice are doing. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I just think that it's just one of those things. I don't count them out until I have a reason to count them out. Now, again, were they good enough to beat Tottenham Hotspur? No, they're not. But everybody else they are. So why not?
Okay, fair enough. LB? Can give you the final word on Liverpool before we wrap up.
Yeah, I'll keep this short and sweet because I got to go. But I'll put it like this: I think you've got a manager to win the league. I think City are going to win the league, and it's weird. It's a bit backwards. I think Arsenal will be closer, but if there is anyone that's going to win the league, I think it'll be Liverpool, which probably doesn't make sense, right?
Please don't tell me you just flip-flopped on the same video.
No, it's a weird. No. So what I think is, I think City will win the league. City are going to win the league in my view. Right, but I think Arsenal will finish second. But it's weird because if anyone does beat City to the league, it'll be Liverpool, which makes no sense. But yeah, listen, I don't know, man. I just think the lack of a DM is gonna ruin it for Liverpool. I think it's that simple. I think when Liverpool were making moves for Caicedo, I was like, oh shit, you know what I mean? I was like, oh fucking, they're serious. Didn't get him, didn't get Lavia, and for that reason, I don't think it's gonna be enough. I don't think it's gonna be enough, man. I think it's
Caicedo's so happy in 11th place right now. Hold that, you fraud. We could have been something special, Caicedo. We could have been something special. We could have been a title race right now. But he decided to go to 11th place Chelsea. Big up. But anyway, as LB said, he has to go right now, and I don't want to keep the guys for too long. So big up to everyone who's tuned in. Make sure you guys are liking. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Big up to Carl. Big up to Enigma, Selection, Felipe, Dinesh, BIG, and Ozan for the super chats. Big up to you guys. Love for the love, Habibis. We're back at 11, inshallah, for Hussam X Tom X months. We're talking all things Liverpool, kind of expanding on all these conversations regarding Liverpool here towards the end. All the guys' channels is in the description. But we're going to go around the lovely panel so they can let you know what they have coming up or any project or stuff they have going on, where you can find them on social media. LB, solid debut, my brother. Thank you for coming on. Where can people find you?
I appreciate it, man. It's LB. I'm going to go do some Papa John's action watch along now. So, yeah, but I appreciate you having me on, boys. I got to shoot, but hopefully see you again on another stream, boys.
Yeah, nice to meet you, man. I subbed to your channel, so I'll come raid your chat in a minute and just say
nice one. And just quickly, Jacob, what's your Twitter?
At U Spurs of A. It's at the letter U. It's in the tweet that Hussam did.
Okay. I'll block you then, just because of what you said. you said that you go look at old tweets, man. Nah, I'm blocking you, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna dig up whatever you got. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna say, what did you say? Because per 2011, that was not the opinion that you held. So,
big up, boys. I gotta go. See you
Take care.
Thank you for coming in, Daud. Another performance, my brother. Thank you so much for coming on. Where can people find you?
I appreciate having me on here. Yep, on my YouTube channel. I need to start uploading a bit more, but yeah, kicking it with Daud. But yeah, also you can find me on Twitch where I play FIFA, Career Mode, and Ultimate Team. So it's started on there if you like gaming.
Is the new FIFA worth it or is it overrated?
Do you know what it is? It's where we've got no other choice. You either don't play FIFA at all. Or play that FIFA. You've literally got no choice.
That's great marketing, isn't it?
Yeah,
great marketing.
You got no choice.
Yeah, so it's like, the good thing is that obviously FIFA and EA have separated. So FIFA bringing out their own game next year. So obviously there's going to be a bit of competition and hopefully they'll improve on their game. But for now, it's like when you go to prison, they just give you the food, you eat it. If you don't eat it, you're going to go starving. So you might as well just...
That's a great way to put it. I agree with that. Like, there are some things on the EAFC that I like. You know, I'm a nerd. I like doing career modes. They did some updates to the career mode and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool.
That's not nerdy. I can't lie to you. People with taste play career mode. That's a good thing to do. When you say career mode, you mean manager, right?
Yeah, manager.
I play Ultimate Team.
If you said player, I would have called you a nerd. But manager mode, I think...
I do player as well, so I'm still a nerd. That's okay. I still do player.
Fair. So anyway, Jacob, another great performance by you, my brother. Even the lights switched off. Every time I mention your name, the light just goes dim, my brother. But anyway,
It is Halloween here in the States, so yeah, it's a spooky day. Big
where
up,
can
thanks for
people
having
find
me. You can find me United Spurs of America on YouTube, America's #1 Tottenham Hotspur fan channel. So big ups to everyone who has subscribed over there, helping me have that boastful title. But also I would say, hey, chat, what's up? I know y'all didn't like a lot of the things I said. Some of y'all did, but it's all fun. It's all love, and I got nothing but love for everybody. So we all love the most beautiful sport that there is in this world. We all just have some bad choices in life, and I think that you two are great folk. You just made some bad choices, or maybe your parents forced you into it. But that's okay. That doesn't make you a bad person just because you support Arsenal or Liverpool or City or whatever. We're all good people here. And so, yeah, always go support every content creator, whether you agree with them or not. A lot of people do a lot of stuff for free, and hitting a like goes a long way, and it's absolutely free. So you bozos in the chat, if you don't hit a like, you're basically saying Højbjerg is equivalent to rice. That's all I'm saying. So you better hit a like unless you disagree.
Can you just answer the question quickly from Lauren?
Football Manager gives you more ways to like do it quicker. Football Manager does, not a quickie. Damn, hey, that's where my head's at. Look, it's my birthday tomorrow, okay? So I'm getting ramped up. I'm saying Football Manager is great if you don't want to play the actual game. But if you like playing the actual game, then EAFC Manager mode is the one for you, because I think it gives you both. It gives you the best of both worlds, Lauren. You get to watch the simulated bubbles fight against each other and then change your tactics while you watch. But Football Manager is more intricate as far as like scouting and recruiting and signing players, more realistic in that sense.
Okay, big up, Lauren. She's Canadian, that's why she had to say thank you at the end. Happy birthday to Jakub Højbjerg. Is it actually tomorrow?
Yeah, November 1st. Yeah, that's my birthday.
Okay.
So I won't be doing a stream tomorrow. So I did like a happy Halloween birthday stream earlier today before this show. So
Pearce. Happy birthday, Jacob. Chat. Big up to you, Daud. Big up to LB and Jacob. Make sure to go subscribe to the channels, all other channels on the description. Make sure guys are hitting the like and subscribing. All of you come back to 11 p.m. Hassam X Tom X Monsters is on upon us. Love you all. See you guys later, inshallah. Peace.